ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) is a house of mirrors where a game of cloak and dagger is going on presently. The key elements of the game are stealth, surprise and deception. The players in this game are currently circling around like the gladiators of old in Roman amphitheater, sizing each other and looking for weak points to strike a fatal game-ending blow. It's all about the 2023 elections and who will succeed President Buhari. The aim of the game being to seize control of the party and use it to such ends. In this regard, the APC is split unmistakably between those who are aligned with the party's putative leader Asiwaju Bola Tinubu on the one hand, and those who believe that the Asiwaju should take a hike and allow someone else, preferably from their ranks, to succeed President Buhari. In this category are some governors and ministers. This much came up in clear relief following the recent suspension of the party's chairman Adams Oshomole, which action in itself was sequel to the disqualification of Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki from participating in the party's primaries for the governorship elections scheduled for September this year. What featured prominently in the discussions that followed this sequence of events was that Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, the party's supremo, whose protege Oshomole is, had lost out to the coalition of the party's so-called Young Turks. But I think it is too premature to make that claim because among the forces that supported the Oshomole ouster are those who are not necessarily against Tinubu. They just do not like the sight of the suspended chairman, whose excesses had gone beyond the pale, and took the opportunity of the moment to align with those who wanted him out in order to cut Tinubu to size. But knowing how dangerous that impression, if left to linger, would cause the party, especially at this early stage, and given the well-known fact that Asiwaju Tinubu is no slouch when concerned, APC grandees were quick to make reassuring conciliatory statements to Tinubu. It is in keeping with this posture that the new caretaker chairman, Governor Malabuni of Yobe State, made an ostentatious photo-ops visit to Tinubu in his Bodilon Road, Ikoyi residence, all the while making the appropriate sound bites on reconciliation and party unity. But to discerning observers, however, all this hardly obscures the fact that the APC is trying to hide behind a finger. Without a shadow of doubt, the Tinubu question is the greatest poster facing the APC, which will determine its fate in the coming month. And to put it in proper perspective, quite frankly, it will take more than the machinations of the Young Turks to knock Tinubu out of his perch in the party or indeed the polity. For if the APC were an invention, then Tinubu alone quite rightly holds the patent, and the party is destined to swim and sink with him in the coming month. It is necessary to understand that the APC is in essence Tinubu's long-term strategy presidential project. In deciding to merge his All Congress of Nigeria (ACN) with Muhammadu Buhari's Congress for Progress Change (CPC) along with other parties back in 2014, Tinubu had determined that his chances of achieving his presidential ambition would be better enhanced if he took that step. It was not necessarily out of a conversion of the principles that Buhari espoused or of any admiration for the man whom he had long opposed and worked against on the 3 occasions the latter had contested the presidency of Nigeria. It was a shrewd strategy move to maximize Tinubu's chances of succeeding Buhari as president eventually, and once Tinubu helped concretize the merger, he made 2 strategic moves to position himself firmly behind Muhammadu Buhari in the party's pecking order and deliver the presidential ticket of the new party to him, and work tooth and nail to ensure that Buhari won the presidency in the 2015 and 2019 elections. The second move was to make sure it took the commanding height of the party such that nobody else apart from Buhari was more relevant than him in the party. Thus, the political DNA of Tinubu is so firmly established in the party that he has become an immovable object in the party, much like a bull in a china shop, or as the proverbial lizard perched delicately to an earthenware pot full of water. Those currently working to sideline Tinubu currently within the APC must therefore reckon with the fact that doing so may not necessarily result in success, and if it does may turn out to be pyrrhic victory, which will do incalculable harm to the party. Essentially, therefore, the party APC is about to tale of two personalities, Muhammadu Buhari and Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, and the unspoken arrangement is for the party to be a special purpose vehicle for the actualization of their presidential ambitions. All others in the party are to play a supporting role to this fact, and now that President Buhari has had his shot, Tinubu will fancy his chances of being next in line. Tinubu did not go to all this trouble just to see someone else profit from his endeavors after the exit of President Buhari in 2023. Going by the plans he had nurtured all these years, he will expect to clinch the APC ticket and to go on to win the presidential elections of 2023, God willing. Tinubu's old endeavors in helping to actualize the merger of political parties leading to the establishment of the APC and its sustenance through to the victory of Muhammadu Buhari in both in 2015 and 2019 elections was not an exercise in political philanthropy, nor it is intended to introduce a new political paradigm in Nigeria politics, whereby a leading Nigeria politics figure could, for the first time, austere work assiduously for the emergence of a president and willingly forgo the position when it becomes available. So the question that comes to mind then is, can Tinubu make it? In this regard, Tinubu is banking on three factors. First, he expects to hold firm on his Southwest support base. Secondly, he expects President Buhari to return the favor he did the president by supporting him to clinch the APC ticket and turning the huge support the president enjoys in the north to him. Thirdly, he stands ready to deploy the massive financial muscle at his disposal to oil his presidential campaign. Can these expectations add up, and will it guarantee him success in his bid for the presidency in 2023? Pertaining to Tinubu's support in the Southwest, this can at best be described as doggy. Of the 6 states in the region, he can only be sure of 2, namely Lagos and Osun, where his nephew is governor and where Tinubu himself hails. Lagos is critically important for many reasons, not least being due to its role as Nigeria's economic hub, but also because of the massive votes it commands. Lagos is where Tinubu looms large and his political network in the center of excellency. In the center of excellence is extensive and unimpeachable. But the same cannot be said of Tinubu's influence in Oyo, Ogun, Ondo, and Ekiti. However, if the APC presidential ticket is yielded to the southern part of Nigeria, then for reasons of group solidarity, it can be expected that the Southwest will rally around Tinubu overwhelmingly. He will clinch the APC ticket under such circumstances, beating any other southern candidate from any of the 3 regions handsomely with some considerable distance to spare. As for expected support from President Buhari and the northern vote, there are no guarantees here for Tinubu. From antecedents, President Buhari has never been known to anoint any political candidate, knowing fully well that the issue of 2023 presidency is a politically sensitive one. We can expect President Buhari, going by antecedents, to wake to want to hide behind the need to observe legal provisions to evade supporting Tinubu. Asiwaju is likely to say, Tinubu, let us go by what the law and courts say. Okay? Despite his best wishes, Tinubu should also not expect to have a full guarantee of northern votes, even in the unlikely event of President Buhari endorsing and campaigning for him in the north. First of all, the massive support President Buhari enjoys in the north is not necessarily transferable to any other political figure, whether from the north or elsewhere. And more tellingly, as a result of failure to live up to the expectations of northerners generally, the unquestioning reverence President Buhari enjoys in the north has suffered what economists would term the backward-leaning supply curve. Quite frankly, there are places in the north today where President Buhari's presence will be met with either hostile reception or ironic cheers of derision. For President Buhari, under the circumstances, to seek to introduce Tinubu as his successor will amount to the northern masses as provocation and hence counterproductive. The situation is compounded by Tinubu himself and his lack of direct political connection with the northern grassroots. It is particularly instructive to note that Tinubu has hardly been seen or heard em empathizing with the North masses battling with the scourge of terrorism, banditry, and other essential survival challenges. Unlike the late Venerable Chief M.K. Abiola, who would as soon fly into the northern communities and commiserate with them in the aftermath of a disaster, bringing along tons of aid materials and in situ situation in monetary donations and provisions of amenities even before the government weighs in. Tinubu hardly does that. Tinubu prefers to outsource his connection with the north rather rather surreptitiously through proxies who he'd expect to deliver his presence among the northern masses. This is perceived in the north as manifestation of inner conscience and disregard for the people of the region. How then can Tinubu hope to get the support of the north in 2023 with this cavalier political attitude? Perhaps Tinubu figures that money which he has in almost limitless amount will be his ultimate joker in the 2023 race. He may not be far off the mark if he thinks so, because Nigerian politics is majorly about money, not political ideology. I believe with this mindset, Tinubu is most probably thinking to nationalize and, where possible, dollarize the critical stakeholders and enabler of the 2023 elections to a state of stupor, including even the opposition, such that the elections will merely be his coronation. But again, given the prevailing mood in the country, which is likely to build up to 2023, and with Tinubu's own glaring political limitations, it is a toss-up if the approach of spending his way to the presidency will work. Perhaps this is what has emboldened the young Turks to have a go at Tinubu, sensing that his strengths and weaknesses are just about even Steven, but their chances are hardly up to scratch. Kayode Fayemi of Ekiti State had to be heavily assisted by federal might to win the governorship of the state, and his influence beyond that state in the southwest is zilch. Nasser El-Rufai of Kaduna will struggle to keep a political hold in that state, not to talk of the northwest. Rotimi Amechi has been effectively bounced out of Rivers State by Nyesom Wike, his SY political protege. Nobody even considers Vice President Yemi Osinbajo as being of any political relevance. But because for their own political survival post-Buhari, the young Turks will not relent at their plot to keep Tinubu at bay. APC faces a very combustive future ahead with very serious consequences for its survival. Like him or not, then the APC remains stuck with Tinubu. Is not only their political fixer, he is the single most important political figure in the party. And realizing this fact, Tinubu will stick in their Tinubu will stick in there and dig it out no matter what. And from what vantage position, he will send silent but ominous signals that he will either have his way or sink the party whose patents he holds.